Diablo, the Lord of Terror's semi-celestial binds are weakening, allowing him to walk among the mortal world in search of his brothers, the demon lords, Mephisto and Baal. As he draws nearer to his brethren, Diablo's power grows and will eventually permit him to shed his mortal coil. Together, the brothers, also known as the Three Prime Evils, seek out the World Stone, the heart and soul of this world, with the ultimate goal of corrupting the World Stone and controlling humanity, drawing ever closer to reality. A small band of adventurers has been plucked from distant realms and thrown together in this new world, placed upon a path with the aim of stopping this corruption before it can consume everything and spread to other dimensions. Welcome to the world of Sanctuary.
All right, welcome back to Abracadagger. Happy New Year, everybody. I forgot about this. It's been a New Year since we last got together.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Goddamn.
We're gonna jump right into this, and we have a player that is leaving the States to go on vacation for a couple of weeks. She's joining us just before she gets on her plane here, and she is wanting to do a recap of our last session. So we're gonna jump right into that and let her get started on that before she has to jump on a plane.
Okay, so when last we left off, our party of misfits had begun to settle down for the night after pulling Rowan out of the Oasis whirlpool and kind of successfully resuscitating her. After Thebe interrupted Rowan's attempt at bonding with Simon, good job, Thebe, by the way, the cleric decided to take first watch for the night, and although their travels thus far had been conflict-free, the group would soon be set upon by a hostile group of quill rats, rudely interrupting the party's attempt at sleeping, and gravely injuring a good majority of the group due to their paralytic quills. The party eventually dispatched the pest, harvesting the paralytic agent for the creatures to use as a weapon, though how long that weapon lasts, we don't know. Once again, the group of otherworlders met resistance in the form of strange bipedal beetle creatures, which discharge electricity with every hit they took. Despite these troublesome abominations dealing consistent damage to the party's frontliners, the party eventually dispatched the creatures and moved on. Just as they made the final stretch to Lut Gholein, the party was met with a group of Nephalim, who decided to take it upon themselves to appraise the otherworlders, who so easily beat Andariel and the Smith. And now we leave off.
One small thing she left out was Rowan got a fucking tome of understanding. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
She got smart.
Okay, well, so I posted some lore for you, Thebe. Were you able to get into that and read it?
Yeah, I sifted through some pretty juicy chunks of it.
Okay.
It is juicy.
So I didn't want to sit here and throw out that whole spiel during our session. So, but if y'all have any questions, any specific things you wanted to bring up, you're more than welcome to, as it is beginning to I'm sorry, the sun is beginning to go down as you guys have met up with this group of people here.
Is it getting real low?
It's sun's getting real low, big guy. Deckard Cain, as I said, who was the last one speaking? I think somebody was speaking to Deju. Oh, yeah, if you guys would like, that is the druid's name.
Ooh.
Eh? Oh. Where's Rowan at?
Oh,
I see.
let me give you access to her character.
Yeah.
Betting the bet.
Y'all don't say anything till Rowan's gone.
Configure
I wanna
ownership.
I wanna hear Thebes' Robin voice.
Oh god, I need to think about that.
And yes, yes.
All right, Thebe, you have ownership of her token, and you have ownership, if needed, of the spiritual weapon.
Ooh. Nice.
That's the wrong spiritual weapon. That is.
Wait, I gotta review what Rowan sent me. 1 second.
This is
this
going
up.
to be entertaining. I mean, Phoebe, you already know like some of Rowan's backstory. I've spilled the beans, well, some beans to you, so you should have an idea, some idea.
Bean.
So, as you guys are discussing, and you kind of, some of the tension has been eased up here, as y'all weren't sure what to expect upon first meeting these people. Deckard approaches the front of the group. Deju, it's been quite some time since I've seen you around the plains. And uh-oh, hold on. Okay, sorry. We've been busy, to say the least. I expect you have had your hands full with what's been going on here. Is this happening everywhere? Yes, unfortunately. Even on planes of existence we can't see. Well, that does not bode well. And he just kind of turns his head and slightly, and you see him. He's kind of in deep thought as she cocks her head and looks back towards the group. So I take it you're heading to Lut Gholein? She looks at all of you, kind of one at a time.
Yep. That's where we're going.
Yes.
Rowan will pipe up.
Couldn't
Will
wait.
she?
I'm not gonna do her voice. Sorry, I don't know.
You gotta!
Come
You
on.
gotta!
You have to. You
You
have
can't
to.
not.
You have to try.
You have
British
to. You have to. Yeah.
But you have to.
Oh, is this happening everywhere? Fuck all of you. Every single one of you motherfuckers.
It's great. It's great. It's great.
Please continue.
No, I didn't expect that. You said you weren't gonna do it, and then you did it.
Oh,
I need to see how red Thebe's face is. Thebe, we gotta see.
it's not happening.
I want to see how
Oh,
red your
I
face is
love
right
that.
now.
Hey, that was so
It was
good.
great. Yeah. I agree. It was on point.
Phoebe, you're adorable. Oh my god.
Please
That was,
continue.
that was great.
Oh,
Okay. What the fuck was the question? Oh, is this happening everywhere? Sorry. Okay. All right. Well, it began, it seems, strangely enough, in Tristram. But it has spread, as far as we can tell, well beyond the desert, the ocean, and seems to be spreading further and further, but it is also, let's just say there are some celestials that are fighting the good fight as well.
Oh, you said you were Nephalim. Can you tell me? Are there others fighting, much like you?
Those of us willing to fight are fighting, yes. Just, I don't know what you know of Nephilim. There are not a great many of us. And when I say that on a grand scale. Yes, there are several 100,000 of us, but comparatively to the rest of the world, that is not much. But those of us that are willing to fight are fighting.
And can we expect more reinforcements?
I don't think so. You may receive help from time to time, but we were actually... Well, it wasn't... Our departure was not taken well. But I insisted that we come and see... Well, you with our own eyes, as we had heard rumors of beings that were helping. And when I arrived, waiting for these three, as she gestures back towards the other three with her, I had discovered you had already killed Andariel and this Smith. I have to say I was surprised. Looking at you, you don't... No offense, but you don't appear to be much, and you're quite... What's the word? Disheveled is the word I was looking for.
At this point, I kind of cut in, and I put my arms out and I just slowly spin in a circle.
Fucking T-pose.
What?
Is he dancing? What is he doing?
No, I'm just turning, doing a 360.
I think he's strutting. He's strutting.
Thebe doesn't pick up on what Simon's doing either. It starts doing it, so Simon looks a little bit cooler.
Oh, man.
Yes, you can see why we may have had some concern. As she kind of points to you two, the rest of the group trying to get you to, like, the fuck are these two guys doing?
Wait. I thought you wanted a better look. I
Oh,
was letting you see all of me and just the,
And
whispers that you heard
got a better look.
throughout all your
I
gossip.
see. Well, thank you. What was your name?
I am Simon.
Simon. And, well, introductions, I guess. I am Deju. These are my companions. Talash, as she points to the guy, and he's got like full plate mail on, with the red sash and cloak. She points over towards the very large human who stands taller than even Sentinel. This is Helgaunt, and the quiet one over there is Sidira. As she points to this one here. Oh shit, I'm moving stuff. What the hell's going on? Here we go. Might we have your names? Simon, I know Deckard, and of course I believe everyone knows Warriv, and he kind of bows to her.
It's
You
it's
think-
King Simon, actually.
King?
Also, Steve thinks I should play Rowan while I'm still here.
Someone stream it on Discord so that she can watch. Or some shit.
She's on her phone. I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah, you're right.
I
I
don't
don't think I can't
multi
multi-screen. No,
She
I'm not gonna be able
was
to multi-screen.
petting the
I mean, we're
sparrow
role
wolf.
playing right now, so
So the big guy, he just kind of grunts when she introduces him. The guy in the full plate mail, he lifts his visor, and underneath you see a very, very dark-skinned human. And he just kind of nods his head. The Sidira up to your north there, she's actually, at the moment when she introduces her, you look over at her, she's not paying attention to you at all, or appears to not be, as she has a little orb of fire between her hands, and she's just kind of rolling it around, kind of like you see David Bowie do on Labyrinth with the little silver ball. So, yeah.
Like Lazarus does.
Listen. What I do to entertain myself is none of your business.
So she looks back at you guys expectantly.
If no one's going to go, I am Laika. As you can see, I am not your normal humanoid as well. Does anyone else want to go? As I look towards the group.
Sentinel just kind of stares this large creature down. You know, again, not necessarily any sign of like being a threatening presence. Just kind of, you know, with his one eye exposed, just looking at this creature in front of him, this human, just giving him the look. Not like a negative look, just kind of like a challenge in his mind.
So up close, this guy looks extremely dirty. He's got cuts and scars all over his body, the parts that are exposed. And even though you're in the desert, he has a wolf skin. I mean, a bear skin headpiece, and kind of a makeshift cloak, short cape, maybe, whatever you want to call it. And the rest of him is covered by. He has some gauntlets that look to be made of leather. They just cover basically the wrist between the wrist and elbow. They don't look like they provide much for protection. You're not sure what they're for. Same thing with his leggings. He is completely barefooted, except for some pieces between his knee and ankle there that are very much like the bracers that he has on. And then he has below that, below the waist is almost like a loincloth, almost like a kilt type situation, but made of leather. And he's just standing there with his hammer. The head of his hammer is in the sand, and he's just kind of leaning on it. He has, looks like blue war paint in marks across his face and chest and exposed parts of his arm that cover some of the scars and stuff. But the paint's not smeared in it. It almost looks like a tattoo.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, he is just a massive human being. Not quite the size of what you guys would know of like a Goliath, but he's pretty big.
How tall did you say he is?
I think he was like 6'7".
And it.
I think he's 2 inches taller than you. How tall were you last time? Last time we talked about this.
I think I'm sitting because I'm taller than the average person. I think on D&D Beyond I had myself sitting at a height. I can't remember exactly what my height was.
Oh, you don't have your height in here.
I didn't put
Oh,
it
yeah,
in
you
there.
are 6 foot.
I put. Yeah, I'm 6 foot.
So he'd be
says.
6'2". He's only about 2 inches taller than you.
Okay.
That's a
But
big
he
one.
is barrel chested. His arms are massive compared to yours. But he's not like standing over you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sentinel's just eyeing him down. Like, again, I have my straps around my head. You know, my one non messed up eye, just kind of staring at him dead with a bright light. It's just, he's not necessarily trying to give him the stink eye. He's just observing the creature in front of him.
Thebe, I'm gonna take you off of the prone position. I don't know why you're prone.
He's just
No,
he's-
don't.
The
He's
pit
just been rolling
changed
through the
the.
desert.
He doesn't walk. He crawls.
So
Do I see that Sentinel is staring up at the barbarian?
I mean, yeah, it's not like he's trying to hide it. He's just standing there, being a
They're just
sentinel.
looking at each other.
Continuing the introductions, I'm going to go. I'm Rowan. Nice to meet your acquaintance. That Sentinel, he's got issues,
He's-
and that's all I'm going to say about it.
You
he's
don't
got
just say that
issues.
out loud, you know?
He's got issues.
Don't listen to her. I mean,
He's got issues.
Where's Rowan at again? Okay, yeah.
spiritual bolt her ass.
What would Sentinel in Sentinel's current observing moment? Would he perceive her fucking with him like that?
I mean, you would hear it. How you take it is up to you.
Oh, okay, so he just kind of rolls off of him at this point, but you can definitely tell his visage shifts a little bit in Rowan's direction, but it stays eye locked with this barbarous creature.
I mean, we're making introductions. Introduce yourself.
Right, I've already done that.
Sentinel doesn't trust him. You don't know that. He's just like, all I see is a man with a hammer bigger than mine.
Sounds like
yeah.
somebody's insecure.
Ah,
Oh.
Hey man, he's got a maul. I got a warhammer. All right, there's a difference.
Okay. So if no one else is gonna introduce themselves, I don't know how to go about this. Do
that's
we?
Laz. That's Thebe. I'm pointing.
Steve waves.
That's Simon. Our king.
Oh, she just fucking teleported.
Ooh, our king, huh?
Well,
Lazarus.
I did say if we made it out alive, I would call you king. I
Fair
did
enough.
say.
Lazarus,
Yes?
you are keenly aware of something behind you all of a sudden.
Fucking bitch, she's teleported.
I'm going to. Oh, fucking shit. Fucking 5 Minutes at Freddy's jump scare.
Where are my
I'm
batteries?
going to instinctively create a motive fire in my hand and turn around. Seeing that it's what's her name? Sidira.
Sidira, yes.
I'm gonna put it away and just don't do that.
She'll. For a human, she's not extremely tall. She's only about 5'4". So not towering over you, but still towering over you. You know what I mean?
Double my height.
Yeah, she'll look
Well
down
double
at
my
you.
height.
Laz, you said. Interesting little creature. Not like, and not unlike, the fallen we have killed. As
I
she's
think
studying you, basically, looking. She's looking at your ears. She's looking at your wings. She's taking it all in.
Do you need a biology lesson?
That's a little rude to say, you know. I mean, I feel like I look more like a fallen than he does. He looks more like a dragon, but to each his own, I guess.
Like is
I'm
offended
closer
that he
to a
didn't get
lizard
called.
than a demon.
That I'm not the demon-looking guy.
What manner of creature are you?
Well, where I'm from, we're called kobolds. We're more like lizards than demons, though. I don't know why you would think I was a fallen. But thanks for not killing me, I guess.
She smiles and I'm gonna whisper you something.
He's gonna
Oh,
whisper,
no.
"Not yet." Okay. I'm gonna apologize.
We're-
Because
Feels like high school. We're passing secrets.
God.
Juicy secrets.
Right.
I heard a rumor.
Who's got the note?
As she says that to you, she winks. And
Ooh.
she just vanishes and reappears where she was to begin with.
I'm just
What
gonna
the fuck just
sigh on
happened?
her.
But yeah, that was kind of the sound. Kind of just started getting creepy.
Yeah.
Whoa. Huh? Combat? No.
Okay.
I will point out that maybe we should not surprise ourselves like that, as we do not. We're still a little bit on edge with each other. You know, I feel like we should move this along. Are we making camp anywhere?
As she, Deju looks up into the sky. Huh? Here is as good a place as any. There's no more respite like the oasis you found until you get to the city.
Okay then.
It'll be at this moment that Sentinel breaks his silence and he goes, "How many days is it to Lut Gholein?"
You have about a day and a half left.
Sentinel just kind of like nods to him as she says so, and just kind of like begins, looking around the sand for some spot to rest.
There is nothing but sand and dunes. It is.
He's going to dig a. He's going to do that thing where animals dig a hole and just curl up and just a little spin.
Well, if I may, as we're really not gonna find anywhere better than this, and you see her just squat and sit Indian style in one fluid motion, and she barely disturbs the sand. You see the paladin or knight, whatever he happens to be, Talash, begin to strip off his armor. He kind of walks off to the side. The big guy takes a step back from you, Sentinel, and just kneels, sits on his knees in the sand, hand still on his the handle of his hammer, and you see now, while he looked as if he was relaxed, he is very much eyeballing each of you, like scanning over your group, watching for movements. Anytime someone moves or shifts, you see his eyes dart to that person, and every once in a while you see his knuckles kind of turn white as it grips the handle of his hammer, as if he's not, it's like he's on edge, like he's just, you feel like he still doesn't trust the group yet, or trust that he can relax fully.
Sounds great. I'm gonna make friends with him.
Oh my god.
She says, If I may ask, Deju, looking at, again, kind of glancing towards each of you, you're not from this world, I presume. How did you come to be here? Come to be here. Sorry, my voice cracked. I'm a fucking teenager again.
Wait. Who's asking this?
Deju.
The
chick
druid.
in front of me?
The one,
Yeah,
the one
The
directly
right
in front of
me,
Simon.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
What as she sat down, I kind of nod my head, go cool trick, and I do the same thing.
All right. I mean, you're dexterous enough. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. Yeah, that's. Oh.
Okay.
I mean, you got a 19 freaking dex, dude. If you want to just nice and one smooth motion, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I did it. I'm sitting down now.
Let's see, you're the only human in the group. She looks at you after asking that, and says, after she asks how is it you came to be here, she says, and how is it that you are the only human amongst them?
What can I say? I'm the only normal one.
Normal. Damn. Shots fired.
Deep touches
No.
his ears.
Okay, no, he doesn't say that.
He's the only full human among us.
Full
In
human?
all, it's true. We are all part human, I guess, except for our big metal friend over there and our little friend over here. But we all almost have human origins. It's just we have a little bit of other race mixed in. So
Oh, so anyways, I was just sitting on this island that I shipwrecked and floated to, minding my own business, trying to figure out how to get off of it. And this older lady just appeared up to me and started saying a bunch of stuff. And I thought I'd been out into the sun too long, so I'm like, what? And I agreed to something, and she pulled me into this portal, and then we're floating through this, I don't know, would look like a dimensional sewer pipe. And I saw all of these guys, and then all of a sudden we were dropped right in the middle of which turned out to be the rogue encampment. So that's how I ended up here. I guess that's kind of half their story too.
Is this true for the rest of you? An old woman brought you here? Is that the story you're going with?
he's not lying.
No, I
I
was
believe
pushed
her
through a
name was
portal.
Mala.
I was chased through a portal.
Thebe, what did you say?
I was pushed through a portal.
Fuck yeah.
And Rowan, you
Oh,
said you said her name. Is that what you did?
Name was Mala.
Oh yeah.
At this, are you? So Rowan, you're still standing in front of. Well, actually, Thebe moved you over towards the barbarian.
She said she was.
But
gonna
I
make
would have
friends.
heard, right?
Yeah,
I have
you're
keen
only
elf
you're only
ears.
about 15 feet away from her.
I would have just called over. Her name was Mala.
At this, the barbarian looks at you, Rowan, and stands.
Oh, hello.
He stands kind of towering over you a little bit and says, "What do you know of Mala?"
I know that she's the reason why we're here. She's the one who opened the portals and summoned us here. And then her presence called another, and that's why we're stuck.
When did you see her?
The last time we saw her, We were actually going through the portal. We were following her wherever destination she was going to. And then another demon severed the ties we had with her. That was
yeah.
the last we saw her. It was months ago.
It was Skarner. Do you think she's okay? Skarner's kind of a dick.
What did this Skarner do? As you see him heft his hammer up onto his shoulder.
He severed our ties with Mala. So when we entered the portals from our respective worlds, we were tethered to her, as if to follow. And almost like a leash, it was cut by this demon, Skarner.
I think they were fighting.
I don't understand everything you just said. Which one of you is Skarner? Who do I kill?
None of us are Skarner.
We can wish you good luck trying to fight him, but he's quite more powerful than anything you've ever faced, my friend. My acquaintance, I guess.
He just
Like,
kind of
that's like an
smirks
assumption.
and grunts. When you say that, you have no idea the hells I've faced.
Ladies and gentlemen, in around like 15 minutes.
Miriako, I wanted to get knocked in the head a few less times, but
So where is this Skarner now?
Jumping from plane of existence to other plane of existence.
Take a picture, and then you'll.
We don't know where he is as of now.
Okay. And remember, please spell. This is an introduction.
The last we saw him, he was trying to corrupt a...
Each person must have
What was that tree called? That sacred tree out to the
Inifis?
west? No, not Inifis. That smaller tree. Where we
The angel pit?
tried to... Yeah, the angel pit. He was trying to corrupt the angel pit.
No, the last time that's the last time we saw him. The last time we encountered him was when he,
Okay, well, he... Why'd you have to bring that up, Lika?
I mean, I'm just, explaining the extent of his power, that he can, transport himself from plane of existence.
Yes, the last time we encountered him, he summoned my dead sister. Okay.
Condolences.
you don't sound very sorry.
Oh, I was. I don't know what you're talking
Damn,
about.
what the fuck? You don't
Brutal
sound very
fallout.
sweet. You trying to start shit over here, Lazarus.
Yeah.
I mourned with her. I don't know what you're talking about, lads.
Steve looks down, dejected.
Mala vanished a few months ago. As far as I can tell, you're the last ones to see her alive.
Yep.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either, big guy. But it is, unfortunately, all we know. She did say to go find her before we were forcefully ejected from the portal. I do know that Skarner was after her, though. That's all I know.
He looks over towards Deju, who is kind of watching the exchange, and side-eyeing you at the same time, Simon. But he looks at her, and then he looks back at the Telash, who is now fully out of his armor, and underneath now he's taken off some little padded clothing that to keep the armor from cutting and chafing and rubbing. And then underneath that, he has just a plain, like, white shirt on, and basically like a pair of boxers underneath all that.
Nice.
And he strips down to just the skivvies there, And as he looks up, the barbarian catches his eye. Have you heard of this Skarna? Deju shakes her head. The paladin, same thing. He just shakes his head. And what of you, Caster? As Sidira is still just kind of off in her own little world here. No, doesn't ring a bell. Never even looking back. Our voice is really easy to hear, though. It kind of, when she was talking to Lazarus, it was a very low, just above a whisper. And now she's, 25, maybe even 35, 40 feet away from some of you. And it's like she's talking right next to you. With that, yeah, the barbarian just kind of starts pacing around, muttering, oh, maybe I could ask, maybe Nilithok knows, or we may have to go back to the north. And he's just kind of muttering shit like that under his breath. Every once in a while, looking up at Deju, especially when he says, like, we may have to go back north. Maybe I can get answers from the Ariat summit. Maybe the ancestors know. So yeah, he's just kind of like working it through in his head.
At this point, Thebe walks up to him, seeing him kind of pacing. Doesn't like stand in his way, like maybe moves back out of his way a few times in like a kind of a awkward, not sure how to get this guy's attention. Hey, you look like you need to think a little bit. And he holds up a cigar his direction.
Oh my god. Actually,
He pulls out his own.
Reverse card.
Uh-oh.
Reverse Uno.
Lower high.
You know what I'm gonna say.
Alright.
Always high. Sentinel's about to do something.
Oh.
It
Well,
was
I'll
a
show you what I
50.
rolled. I rolled a 10.
Okay.
He just looks at you, confused. I don't understand magic. And he just kind of waves you away.
No. You put this in your mouth, and then suck on it, and it helps you think. And you feel really good at the same time. It's a double whammy.
No. Rowan just looks very uncomfortable by how he worded that.
Yeah, that's fuck. He looks at you and says, "That sounds like something I'd tell my wife."
Sentinel kind of like, holds an arm out to Thebe, and he kind of like, look like, again, just looking, still kind of eyeing this barbarian, like, not necessarily trusting him. He kind of looks to Thebe and says, perhaps you should offer Rowan that. I'm sure she would prefer it, as he casts command.
Oh, Thebe?
Yes.
What's the one-word command you're gonna issue during that statement?
Oh, it's one word, that's right. Don't.
Don't fucking breathe.
Thebe, roll, give me a wisdom save.
That's a wisdom save, right?
Oh, I was hoping if I targeted him, it would force it to... I was hoping it would force it to do the roll automatically, but it's not gonna...
It's a halt. you know.
If you have him targeted, it should. Maybe not. I don't know.
I had him targeted, but yeah, no, those are some of the options you can choose from, but
Yeah.
it's a one-word thing. I'm just
Right,
saying
right.
don't.
Yeah. Okay, Thief, give me a wisdom save, man. Oh my God. Okay,
What did
Thief.
he
happened?
roll?
Thief,
What did he roll?
don't. He
A
rolled
one.
a nat 1.
Natural one.
Oh God.
Thief, don't. That's your command. Don't. Take that however you want.
He's gonna think, don't stop. All right.
Okay. Thebe lowers his hand. He's not even smoking it. It's just in his hand, chilling.
Oh shit. So yeah. Okay. Thebe is daunting. What do you,
Do I realize he casted this on me?
yeah,
Is that
you
something that
would
happens with
definitely
that spell?
feel the magical
Okay.
the magical command infiltrate, and kind of set in.
Thebe's gonna just yell at Sentinel, "Stop casting magic on me, man! It's like really rude.
See,
I thought you were like better than that.
Dude, stop! I'm gonna tell Mom.
Yeah, you're like a big bully."
Simon looks over at Thief and goes, "Is he picking on you again?"
Yeah, Simon.
What the fuck is happening? Okay, go ahead.
Sentinel reaches
Don't
at
worry, we'll talk to him about it.
Sentinel reaches out his hand to Thebe and says, "May I have it?"
No, I don't trust you. You've been mean to me.
Another command, give.
Give. I'm kidding. No. No. Sentinel kind of like curls his hand back and he nods and dispels the spell.
Well, I mean, it only lasts for 6 seconds, so.
Oh yeah, it is only 6 seconds.
Yeah.
How does that work for Flea then? I guess it's just a one round of fear.
So their next turn, the only thing they can do is flee.
That makes sense.
That's 6 seconds. They just run. They use their action, their movement, and their action to run. So
It's basically
they
one round of
dash away
fear.
from you. And then they stop and turn around, and they can do whatever they want after that. Yep.
All right.
I mean, it's pretty good to get somebody far away from you.
I think I'm thinking of a different one. I think I'm suggestion. I think that's the one that like just keeps going until they realize it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. At this point, as you guys are almost bickering back and forth, all of these people, even the caster over here, Sadira, has turned, and they're all just kind of staring back and forth between you as you talk to each other. And you see every once in a while they'll kind of cast a glance at each other, and they just continue to watch this charade or this farce as it happens to be, as it happens to unfold in front of them, like a little confusion and a little wonder in their face as they can only be wondering how in the fuck this group handled Andariel and the Smith with this childlike bickering going on. Yeah.
Rowan dead.
And Thebe will be slightly complaining about, I think it's because you guys are like really mean to him, and now he's taking out on me because he sees me as like weak or something. And Rowan listens super intently to all of Thebe's bickering.
Rowan's gone. Damn. Well, Rowan, if you happen to watch this next week sometime while you're on vacation, have a great time, and we're gonna miss you. So
We should, we should do like have Rowan do some little shorts and stuff from like, like little mock interviews of her what's going on in her mind kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool.
Rowan in Italy.
No, she's in Spain.
Oh, Spain. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Watch out, Spain.
So continue on. I mean, as Thebe is bitching to Rowan about his mistreatment from Sentinel. Simon, you are sitting in front of Daiju. Did you have something specific you wanted to say to her or talk to her about?
Actually, no, I really do not.
Okay.
Circle back.
Okay. Lecca, you have anything you've been wanting to say?
Not so much.
I don't want to say much either, especially not after, being fucking threatened by this telepathic sorcerer.
She didn't threaten you.
She was threatening.
It may have
Her
come across
tone?
as threatening, but she was just letting you know. You know, you would never know what happened. That's all.
Oh. I'm keeping my fucking
was
eye on this
juicy.
bitch.
Hey, is your little guy over here like? Did you leave him there intentionally?
I don't know, I just never moved him.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say the wolf is checking him out.
The wolf just eats him.
Snack.
He's not a snack.
So that Laz turns around and sees a little tail, like little mini dragon in his mouth.
So tell me.
So how long?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, how long have you guys been, patrolling or doing whatever around this area, Lut Gholein area?
Well, we weren't actually. We were coming. We were actually coming.
Oh, that's right.
To
Yeah, we're
see-
coming back.
Right. Well. So, if I'm being honest, we were coming to try and deal with the threat in Dario. And when I got here, I heard it had been handled. So, I spoke to a few of the rogues and heard about your little group. Akara spoke very highly of you. Although, I'm a bit surprised. How did you kill Endariel?
I stabbed her.
That's actually very accurate. It's
Yeah.
almost exactly what happened.
He's not lying.
I mean, it took more than once, but
And the smith?
him too.
Yeah.
Was he
Actually, yeah.
was he as big as the rumors say, or the legends, as it were?
He's like a
He
few
was
inches
pretty
taller than me.
He's actually rather small. It's as small as him, and I point this at Laz.
No. Seriously, how large was he?
We're not joking.
This that doesn't make any sense. How can he?
It's a side note. Really, he was that small?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
bitty.
He was like a few inches taller than Lazarus. He was like 3 feet tall.
I missed that.
Yeah, he was just like a
Yes.
little little corded muscle, like just running around. That's he didn't actually attack so much as he just flew at you and knocked you back and knocked you into things, which was
Okay.
why the weapons were all around the walls. His strategy was to slam you into that, and the swords would come down and do the damage for him. He had he almost looked cartoon-like, like a caricature of someone. He's a very small body, but his hands were really large, and his horns were really big. Like he's not the Smith you imagine from Diablo 2. He's very much my own version
like-
of the Smith.
It's kind of like as if they were to take like a dwarf from D&D and made it into like blue with horns kind of vibe. Huge muscular arms and hands.
Yep.
Like King Wee
Who the fuck is
from
that?
Borderlands. Some little dude from Borderlands
Yeah,
1
yeah.
Oh,
with a really high pitched voice.
well,
And that was
Yeah,
it!
it's King Wee Wee. Yeah.
so anyways, yeah, he was actually very small.
God, it's been a long time since I heard that fucking name.
Best shield in the
Sentinel.
game.
So, and I was just gonna kind of move over towards Laz, in a way that's not obviously as like surprised, because I know he's kind of, he's a little uppity, not uppity, but very, very like anxious.
I'm not having it with these people.
Yeah, he kind of moves over to Laz and reeks and says, "I have a request of you.
Yes.
Could you produce a flame?
For?
I wish to melt some of the sand and turn it into glass."
Sure. Where do you need it?
That takes a lot of heat.
He's got some hot ass hands.
I mean,
He's
you're
gonna.
talking about like lightning strike type heat.
What is the melting temperature of glass?
It is extremely hot.
Very high.
Sand, you mean? Yeah, it's
3,090 degrees Fahrenheit.
yeah. I don't
shit.
think his fire produced flame is gonna get that hot, buddy.
Okay. So
Concentrate.
this is where it gets kind of weird. So it doesn't specify in the spell, because I had something I wanted to try and do. I want to run it by you. I was going to try and use the fire as kind of an excuse to make it work, but in the fabricate spell, it specifies that you take any raw material of any kind. It doesn't specify it has to be in a particular state. Since sand is technically glass, all it is to make glass is to cause them to merge as one and fuse together to make a sheet of glass. He's going to try and make an arrow of glass. And he's going to use the fabricate to basically transmute the material. Because it technically is a transmutation effect, would I be able to push sand together to form a piece of glass? And use his fire as just...
I would say so, because that's how fabricate works. It takes the base materials.
Yeah, because when I think about it
into something.
Because when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, how do I can make a bridge out of trees? I'm like...
Right, yeah.
They just like trees together.
In this instance, I would allow that to work.
All right, so that's pretty much what Sentinel is going to do. If you cast a spell or you just use continual flame. I think that you have a cantrip that allows you to create a heat source.
Firebolt.
Yeah, so if you're just constantly puffing the ground, Sentinel's going to try and harness as much as he can of the sand in front of him to use fabricate to create a arrow made of glass.
Why particularly?
Can you control how those things are created? Like,
yep.
Just a solid tube, or can you make variations in density?
Oh yeah. So because I have proficiency in smith tools and a lot of leatherwork and all the specialized proficiencies, because I'm able to do that, I'm able to harness and make specific items. Otherwise, because the spell specifically specifies that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to create finite objects. I could only create blunt, like affixed objects in that case. So like a brick, I could easily make that. But if I wanted to make a statue, I would have to have out of stone. I would have to have stonecutters proficiency to basically meld it into a perfect statue. Otherwise, it just makes a simple object.
Yeah.
Or
your proficiencies change how well you can use the spell.
Yeah, which is kind of cool if you think about it. There's not many spells that do that. But yeah, no, I'm gonna spend however long it takes for the spell to produce a glass arrow.
I mean, what's the casting time of the spell?
10 minutes.
Yeah, so it'd take about 10 minutes. Because I mean, it's just an arrow. It's only a 1.5 foot long object. That's not much.
Make 40.
But a glass arrow. Don't know how what good that's gonna do, but okay.
It's just see.
Okay, that's fine.
Interesting.
You have drawn the interest of the other caster as you are doing this, though.
I would say visually what it looks like is as he's heating up the sand with those little puffs of firebolt, basically just, having him just occasionally keep the sand in a hot state. It's like his hand is sitting there almost near the point of contact where his blasts are, as it's forcing the sand to basically moltenize and coalesce into an arrow that begins to form up out of the sand.
So, as you're sitting here, and you try this produce flame, I guess. And then you realize it's not quite enough, so you start casting firebolt into the sand. And as you do so, Sentinel has his hands kind of spread apart, and you're blasting the sand in between his hands. And with each blast, you see him kind of tense and almost like he's trying to contain the firebolt and the sand that flies from the impact. And as he does so, the firebolt hits the sand, and the sand flies, and the sand flies, but you see little tiny sparkling or shimmers in the sand that stop and kind of clump together. In each blast, you see more and more of these sparkling, crystal-like shards of sand, and then you realize that he is capturing the minute pieces of sand, the grains, almost individual grains of sand that are heated up from your blast enough to turn the glass, and picking them out of the air and forcing them together. And over the course of about 10 minutes, you see them starting to come together and form something. And by the end of it, you see kind of floating in the air in between his hands now is this long glass shaft with an arrowhead on the end of it. How you like that shaft, huh?
Glass shaft, boy.
Yeah.
Why did you need this?
I wish to present it and make use of this in some way. And he kind of like holds it up to the sun, looking through the glass to look for any imperfections. Seeing the light reflect inside of it, almost, in a shimmering look.
So I want you to roll me, since you're casting Fabricate and you have him helping you, the DC is extremely low for this, but
rolls in that one.
You will also have advantage. So give me a. Do you have any Smith's tools on your character sheet?
Yeah, I do have tool proficiencies.
All right, give me a check.
I can't click it though.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, I have Tinkers, Carpenters, and Smith tools, and I can't click them. Well, it would just be Wisdom plus a proficiency bonus, I believe. That's all it does.
Well, Does it use Wisdom for Smith's tools or Dexterity and Strength? I think it.
I don't know.
Well, you're casting a spell though. You're not actually using Dexterity or Strength. So yeah, give me a Wisdom check with advantage.
I could just do a Wisdom check, yeah, because that.
And you can add your proficiency to that.
Oh well, whatever. There you go.
0 imperfections. It is perfect. A perfect glass arrow with not even the slightest crack, or there's not even any cloudy spots in it. Like it is.
Given its perfection, would it be classified as hardened glass?
Ooh, interesting.
How hard did you squeeze it?
I mean, what are you attempting to go for with that? Like,
so it's
glass is fragile, even if it's hardened. There's a certain fragility to it.
It's not.
Now, if it was like a window pane that was an inch thick or whatever, that type of hardened glass, no. But just a raw,
it's not.
A shaft?
It's not really supposed to be like something you're gonna like hit something with it. It's more or less a momentum, something that's just like given.
A memento.
Yes.
Mentos. Okay, so
it's a can of Mentos.
I mean, yeah, with the nat 20, I'd say it's much tougher than just something that would be normal glass.
Okay.
It's pretty solid.
Maybe I should take up glass making.
Some Sentinel will just like hold it in the shimmering light, and he would just think to himself for a few minutes before placing it gently in the sand, and kind of just like, again, just using the sand as kind of like a place for it to rest for a moment as he digs through his pack for a few things. He looks up at Laz and nods his head and says, "I thank you for your help."
Okay.
Sadira walks up as you complete this. She says, "You have strange magic, but what good is a glass arrow?
Sentinel looks up at her, and for a moment he pauses before speaking. I'm not sure what good it is to make harm, but in a world full of vile and darkness, it helps to make something that is beautiful. And he kind of just, again, this is a moment where Sentinel is not so focused on making the perfect weapon, but instead trying to make something that, in his eyes, he would consider of beauty. An piece of imperfection glass being a perfect prism for light.
Interesting. And what made you? As she very bluntly asks you, Sentinel.
Like, is she asking what made me physically? Sentinel is still staring down at his arrow, but like his stare goes from observing to more of like a blank, dead stare. As he looks up at her, like his eyes kind of just again resuming, instead of that wondrous curiosity, more of a like inert stare as he says, "What made you?" Almost like as if the question bothered him to some point.
Well, I assume you are not flesh and bone? So, I was thinking you were created by someone or something. Not like the rest of us with blood and muscle and bone. We are born, but you seem to be more than that. Machine, almost. I didn't mean no offense by the question.
I understand your curiosity, but I don't know who made me.
How'd y'all like my double negative there? I didn't mean any offense by the question. Jesus Christ.
I don't mean no offense.
I didn't mean no offense. Oh, so fuck you. You did mean to offend me. Yeah. Double negatives, people. It's a real thing.
Sentinel like holds his arm up, kind of like this to the sun, and he just kind of stares at all the carvings and runics inside the wood that fleeces underneath of his arms, as well as in between the pieces of metal. And he kind of just he looks at her and he says, "I don't know who made me. I don't know much about where I come from. That part of my memory is vague." And he just kind of like closes his fists, and almost like as if he's tightening his grip. He goes, "But I do know that I feel. I know that perhaps maybe I was something before." And he kind of just breaks contact again with her and goes back to looking at his arrow.
With that reminded me, when you said that, the sun has gone down. The heat of the day is drastically lowered. Even Lika, you feel the difference in temperature, even though heat doesn't normally bother you. This night seems to be cooling down much more so than the other nights in the desert here. As it cools down to people without full clothing of any type would actually kind of get a shiver as it cools down. It's probably low 60s, just to give you an idea of the temperature. More like a real desert, that you hear about, hot as fuck during the day and cool at night. But most of the nights out here, up to this point, it has just been hot and miserable all day, and hot and less miserable at night. Tonight's different. Tonight there's a cool wind that blows through. And she's gonna cast. Yeah, let's do this.
She's gonna cast that Liamans to the hurt.
She is actually going to create a fire. And
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Ooh, it's getting dark. Ooh.
Darkness is coming. That is the darkest fire in existence.
There we go.
Cast Dark Flame. Whoa.
oops, didn't mean to move you. Okay, can y'all see?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. You guys hear the wolves howling in the distance. As you guys continue your conversations here and there, I don't know if anybody else wanted to have another conversation. You're more than welcome to just after this. But she does. Deju does approach the group and tell you all to rest. Well, rest easy tonight. You have nothing to worry about. We are protected.
That's assuring.
I do my best.
So, if anyone would have anything they would like to discuss with anyone else, you are free to do so, as the camp has been set.
As the day passes on tonight, Leica would have taken off his armor by now and proceeds to go to the fire to stick his head in it and just lay down.
He don't take baths, he just burns the dirt off.
Yeah. This
Hey
is how
man,
it
the
exercise.
ultimate exfoliator. He's like,
We're kind of
I just imagine he just gets like down in the nude in his birthday suit and just starts like
the
dancing in the
cleansing
fire.
fires of hell. Just burn the day's grime off. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm using
Lex, help me with that.
the campfire as a pillow. So my head is just engulfed in flame.
Jesus Christ. Take advantage of that shit, huh?
Yes, I do.
Bro, all these people are probably like, what the fuck?
So yeah, as you do so, the caster curiously looks at you curiously. So, you are born of the hellfires.
I look to her, but still through the flame. Not quite, but I don't feel this. And I point to the fire.
That's going to be useful.
Oh, it's proven pretty useful as of late. It's
Just
fun not
wait.
being affected. Just wait. What am I waiting for?
Well, if the path you have set upon with your friends leads to leads to the hells, or leads you into more dangerous situations than in Dario, you're going to be grateful for that.
No, I already am. Proceeds to take a nap.
Anyone else here immune to fire? As she kind of looks around.
I don't know. I try to stay away from it. You know, I don't like to get too close.
Not
Just in case.
immune to fire. I've noticed that my fire does a lot more damage to things that it probably shouldn't. But it still can't touch him.
So you are able to overcome certain resistances.
Say that.
I can do something very similar.
I curiously pipe in. Are you saying that you can actually make me feel heat? It would be quite an experience.
No, I don't think I can affect you if you're completely immune. But for some
Well.
of the creatures that are just less affected by fire, I seem to be able to hurt them just fine.
Ooh, that sounds
I
like
would
a
assume so.
challenge.
I reach out my hand. Can I feel your flame?
You reach your hand out to her.
Yeah, to her, since she's right there.
She has the little orb appear of fire and passes it around your hand. You don't. I mean, you feel that it's hot, but it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, it's no different. Okay then, thank you.
You're done. You're done.
You're fired shit. Ain't got you with me.
I have determined you are no threat. Be on with you.
Be gone, peasant.
I will say during this time when everyone's kind of gathered around the fire pit, Sentinel's again, playing with this arrow, pulls one of the bladed weapons that has stored in his pouch,
Mhm.
and he'll begin to use his channel divinity to stretch and pull this dagger into almost like a thin iron-like thread as he begins to weave it gently around the arrow, just creating a garnish of iron around the glass in a pattern.
Oh, so like kind of down the shaft, like spiral down the shaft of it.
Yeah, he's basically creating like a design around the arrow.
Anthony,
to kind of
stop. Goddamn, bro. It's
He's-
shaft.
he's-
Get over it. Shaft.
He veins it down the shaft just so ever very no. Basically he creates like sprawling patterns that look kind of like flora, and he's not making anything specific like a weapon. He's just trying to adapt and take on a more creative approach to this item.
Okay. It's like Beavis and Butthead over. You said butt.
Damn, Simon, I didn't know you that into shafts. Damn.
Oh fuck. Okay. Thee, man, you've been really quiet, bro. You got anything to add to all this that's going on? What have you been doing all
Yes,
this time?
actually. Thebe doesn't want to give up on this barbarian.
I love it.
He the barbarian doesn't see the merit in what Thebe offered, and Thebe's convinced he can convince him, so he's gonna go over to the barbarian
Okay.
and start having a little convo.
And you've been smoking this
way
whole
up there.
time, right?
I've been what?
You've been smoking this whole time, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Peer
Oh,
pressure, peer
So has
pressure.
so has Rowan. She decided that she would partake. She's, by the way, Rowan is kind of staring at the fire, very it's like solemn. There's a look in her eye, and with the fire reflecting off it, you can see the glaze, very watery kind of eyes
Like a
in this
donut.
moment, like a delicious donut.
So what is it you say to Halgon?
Yeah, I'm gonna switch my approach.
Oh, here, let me put their names in here for you.
All right, let me get in character. So, Mala, am I right?
So it's Halgon, Talash.
If you put your cursor over it, it says their name.
Oh, it shows for y'all? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're showing for us.
Okay. I didn't know if I'd set it up or not.
I went to the right one, right?
So He looks at you as you approach, kind of interrupting his pacing and mumbling here. He looks at you. And what'd you say? You said, what'd you?
Mala, am I right?
Well, you're right about what?
It's a saying. Anyway, so you knew her? Was she like,
She was an elder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was pretty elderly, but she had it together. She's sharp. We didn't know her very long, but I think she's still out there. I have to believe that. Otherwise, that's like our ticket home. Which I don't mean to be insensitive. Are elderly people important to you?
Our elders commune with our ancestors.
Whoa. All right. Dude, that's badass. Yeah. I commune with the stars.
Mala was a soothsayer of sorts. But she had other abilities that she was secretive about. You know what, dude? Give me just give me a persuasion check.
Did you hear how much I hear? Yeah, you got it. Let's thieve. Persuasion. What did I get?
A tid.
Okay.
It's almost like he feels like he starts to say that, and then he just stops, and he gets a very stern look on his face. What do you want?
Well, I was gonna say as he's talking and explaining all that, Thebe is kind of making a show of how he puts the blunt in his mouth, begins puffing it, and then like inhales deeply. Like he even takes his other hand at one point and kind of makes this circular gesture in front of him as if he's like inhaling, and then the opposite direction for exhaling. So when he says, "What do I want?" Thebe breathes out, holds the cigar towards him, and looks away, and goes, "Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk. It helps calm me down. Yeah, do you want to talk?" As I hold the blunt like very close to his face, or relax a little bit.
He kind of blows the smoke away from his face. No.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, no problem there. No ulterior motive. But look, I noticed your pacing, and you look like you needed to talk about this a little bit. If I don't know you, but well, that's just how it kind of seemed, and I figured we get to know each other. Yeah, we're pretty friendly.
Give me another persuasion check. This
dear.
one, unfortunately, at disadvantage because you failed your first one.
Sure.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
2 nat 20s is what he's gonna need.
It's at least a 9.
Okay, well. While he's not rude to you, he just let me be.
All right. Hey, I'll leave, but one last question, okay? Before I go. You just look like the type, and I'm so sorry, but look, I need some advice. What do you do when someone's bullying you? Like, if they're picking on you a little?
You hurt them until they can't bully you anymore.
What if you can't hurt them? And, like, it'd be counterproductive to hurt them?
not sure how hurting someone is counterproductive.
Touche.
This man has like 3 brain cells.
That was fucking good.
But if you can't stop the bully, then you just get bullied.
Oh, that really sucks.
Father of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not asking the brightest guy here, bud.
Absolutely not the sharpest tool in the box.
He just hits
Have
hard.
you ever-
That's all.
Have you ever been bullied?
No. And he almost looks prideful of that. So much so that you have no doubt he is not lying to you. Like, he is absolutely telling the truth.
Man was the bully, is what it means.
Oh, right on, man. Good for you. All right, I'll leave you be. Thanks for talking to me, man.
How small are you, Thief? How tall are you? Like, you're like pretty live,
It's like
right?
it's super average. It's like 5'10".
And you're like scrawny. You're not scrawny, but you're not
little
big,
skinny.
though, right?
A little skinny.
Oh, we lost Simon's camera.
He says, he looks at you and he kind of smiles as he kind of starting to piece together what you're actually getting at here. And he's like, we have a name for you.
Oh yeah, what's the name, man?
Girls.
What?
Girls.
Ha! 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 Ha!
I just got bullied again.
Feels bad, man.
Sorry, man.
That's a highlight.
You're dealing with the bully of, like...
Rest
you
in
gather
peace,
he was
Steve.
probably the bully.
I'm not
But
sure
you-
which... Yeah.
Do you know... Give me a history check, Thebe.
Okay. Oh, good.
Jesus Christ.
Got a
We're on fire
0.
today with Thebe.
Holy shit. Yeah, you, even your brain is crying. Like, you can't think of... You can't think. You don't... Yeah.
Thebe looks at him and goes, "Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, forget that I offered to talk to you and give you an ear. I'm walking away. Good day, sir."
I would say at this point in time, Sentinel actually is walking towards Thebe.
So Talash, being not far from there, as you're walking away, Thebe, he says, "Don't mind him. He's not very smart."
Much appreciated, man.
And neither are you, apparently.
He does not speak for all of us.
What's your name?
With a very slight bow, he says, "Talash."
Oh, Talash, nice to meet you, man. You look like the kind of character I would play if I played Diablo 2. But, outside of that, hey,
Fourth wall! Fuck it!
yeah, I'm looking to, just kind of mingle here a little bit and get to know you guys. Do you want to, this is a little bit weird, but do you want to have a conversation? As I hold the cigar towards him.
Sure. What would you care to talk about?
Yeah, so, what the hell are you doing in the middle of a desert? And did you kill, the Andariel that's here, I'm assuming?
Okay, so right there, Sentinel, you were walking towards Thebe as he was walking away and then got distracted by Talash. What were you going to say or do?
I was gonna call out to Thebe, but Sentinel, seeing him approach Telesh, kind of just stops in his track for a moment, and he just kind of stands, just observing the two.
Okay. The Andariel of the place? I'm sorry, I do not follow. What was your name again?
Oh yeah, you can call me Thebe Yardlore. My friends just call me bro, but,
Pleasure to meet you, Master Thebe.
Oh yeah, put it there! Thebe holds out a hand. Let me get my character closer.
Yeah, he clasps your arm. You know the old clasp where they forearm to forearm.
Hey,
Oh, all right. Oh man, that's quite a grip you got there.
We're getting close in this house.
So yeah, you were saying, what the hell are you doing out here? You know?
Well, we came to find you, actually. No,
Me?
no, I'm sorry. We came to deal with Endariel, but apparently it has been dealt with already. What's
Oh, yeah.
Simon
obliged?
perks up his head at that.
Who
Yeah,
does? Simon?
Wait,
Yeah,
senses what?
he perks up at mention of Andario.
I must be honest. When I first laid eyes upon your a band of misfits, and I don't mean that to offend, but you have to understand there's only one human among you. I'm not sure you're going to be well accepted most places.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Everyone's been pretty racist here, but they get used to us.
Well, he kind of smiles. But as I was saying, when I first laid eyes upon you, I wasn't certain the rumors. Well, Deju was telling the truth. I thought she was maybe pulling my leg, but I see some talent here.
Where? Oh! Yeah. Yeah, we got, Thebe turns around, noticing Sentinel. Oh, yeah, that guy right there? He's man, he could take a hit, and he has that big shield. It's all, like, celestial. So, yeah. He's kind of Thebe whispers, he could be a little bit of a bully, if you know what I mean. But we'll work through it. And then there's Leica, who and then Thebe gets into it. Like he starts making gestures with his hand. He has this big sword, and he stabs and stabs and stabs, and it's on fire. And then man, if he stabbed himself, it would cut him, but the fire wouldn't hit him. Oh man! And then he makes this version of himself that's him, but it's not him. It's like a shadow. It's strange. It's so weird. And he could I don't know. It's like he could walk through shadows with it. It just teleports, you know? Oh man, and then there's Simon. I'm sorry, King Simon. And King Simon, he's the most dangerous, amazing person I ever met. He's this leader, so natural. I've never met a king, in person, but I feel like I know Simon, and I just know he's a good king, you know? Oh, and as Thebe's talking, he has this cigar that he's slowly passing to the direction of, is it Tavash?
Talash, yes.
Talash. And he tries to hand it over to Talash.
As you're talking and slowly handing it over, he jerks it out your hand and starts smoking on it. As you're explaining,
yeah.
But as you're talking, every once in a while you kind of glance back to him. You see just a spattering of emotions across his face as you're talking: confusion, wonder, disbelief, a lot more confusion. He's listening intently, not sure if he believes some of what you're saying, kind of in awe at some of the stuff you're saying. But yeah, he's listening to you like no one's ever listened to Thee before. You have his undivided attention.
He's my buddy.
You don't know if if he's being a fatherly figure or if he's just truly invested in this. But hey, man, you've got his ear.
Yeah, and Thebe will explain the shit out of every single one of our party member, like talking about our abilities in depth.
This dude just gave this guy the lowdown on how to take each one of you out, your weaknesses.
Hell yeah. Steve doesn't, he's not even thinking about that, bro. That didn't even register in his mind. He's like, yeah, Rowan casts about 12 heals a day. She needs to sleep before she can cast it again.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, holy shit, man. And the whole time you talk, every time you look back at him, his eyes are a little more bloodshot, a little more bloodshot, a little more bloodshot. He's not choking on it. He looks like an old pro at this.
Oh, man. Alright. As Thebe finishes, he goes, it was 3 times, man. Simon stabbed her in the back 3 times. And it was like, you know there's stabs, right? And then there's stabs, dude. This man did the stabs. I've never seen anything bleed like Andariel did. I don't know how he did it. I think he's special, you know? I think there's something different there. Maybe he's Nephilim. What if he's a Nephilim? That would fuck with my head.
Shit,
You think
I
that's
can't
even
move.
possible?
Okay, there we go. Well, I don't think so. If man, what is this? I see. He holds. Well, it's probably all gone now. But as he says, it's possible. But maybe he's not from this world. I don't know. Man, what is this? This is really good.
Oh, that's my little specialty. It's a little mix. It's a special occasion, so I pulled it out. It's got a little bit of Kurvana, a little bit of Enophis, and a little bit of Jandal, courtesy
Jesus
of
Christ.
the color purple.
Just smoking 3 dead things.
The color purple.
Man smokes the ashes of his friends. All right.
Good to know.
How does that even work? They're ashes. You can't re-burn ashes.
Well,
Don't
they
ask
can definitely
questions.
change the flavor. That's for sure.
When you grow stuff in the ashes of your fallen comrades, it takes on, in Thebe's mind, a little bit of them.
Charcoal filter.
He likes to smoke his friends. That's all I'm hearing.
Oh shit! Hey guys, let's take our little break here. It's a little after 7, and yeah, let me stop the recording. All right. So, anyone else want to have any discussions with anyone? Deckard and Warv are available. Of course, any of the party members that showed up are available as well. The Barbarian, as Steve has learned, not much for the conversation. But any of the others will be more than happy to talk with you.
Laz is gonna walk around Licca, up to Sadira, and just go, so, telepathy, huh?
Man, it's... Yeah. She just kind of smiles.
How does that work?
We are born of celestial and demonic origins. With that comes, again, she produces the little ball of flame, and again in your mind you hear certain advantages.
Well, as you can tell, we're not particularly celestial born or blessed, and I can conjure fire, and he may not have done it yet, But our human friend over there can also communicate through telepathy. By certain means.
Really? Even the human?
Yes. So there must be some sort of innate magical power not bestowed upon you by some gods. And if not, there must be a means to learn how to control these.
There are some of the humans. One you've met, Akara, who are more adept at learning some magics, but none are proficient like the Nephilim. The Nephilim seem to have an innate ability to tap, or rather control or manipulate elements or nature or even thoughts. But the humans are just bland, for lack of a better word.
And Laz is gonna look over to Simon. Wherever the hell he is. Oh, he's over here. He's gonna look back at Simon. And then look back at Sadira. I don't think you give humans as much credit as you think you should.
I hold... You misunderstand. I do not look down upon them. I'm just explaining the difference.
Well, it sounds like, to me, you Nephilim aren't much different than us, in that we have our own powers granted to us by our own means. However they are bestowed upon you may have been different, but the end is the same. Granted, you're more experienced.
Well, like I was saying, Akara, for instance, she has learned some small magics. I'm not saying the humans can't learn magic, but it takes a great deal of their life in studying to do so, even to do the smallest of things that come easy to us. And again, I am not insulting them, it's just we are two different entities from two different origins.
Learning magic. Lut Gholein, I don't know a lot about this world, first of all. Lut Gholein, is there a library there?
There is a massive library there.
Would one be able to find knowledge of the arcane?
Knowledge like that was kept hidden away from most humans. Some of the humans that got a hold of that knowledge wreaked havoc. They led to, or helped facilitate, certain wars in our past. So no, I'm afraid not. But there are vaults of that knowledge. Your friend there would have to tell you how to, as she nods towards Deckard Cain, would have to tell you where or how to reach them. He is
I see.
part of an ancient cult, if you would, called the Haradrim. I believe he is the last of the Haradrim.
Well, thanks for the information, I guess. And Lazarus is gonna turn away and just kind of sit by himself for the remainder of the night.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sentinel would he still see Thebe and how do you pronounce his name again? It's Talash.
Talash?
Would
Yep.
would they still?
Steve's still chatting him up,
Hmm.
I presume.
Sentinel will just kind of like, notice the conversation and kind of meander away.
As long as Steve talking, Talash is listening to him. At this point, though, he has laid back and he's kind of got his head resting on his cape that he has taken and folded up to use as a makeshift pillow. And no, rather not his cape, this little sash that he had. The cape is actually laid out kind of like a towel or blanket. He's laying on that so that he's not directly on the sand. It's the desert. There's sand all over the cape, but it makes him feel better.
Okay.
You can assume. But he's kind of listening to Thebe, but you see his eyes close and then they'll open again. And every once in a while he'll acknowledge what Thebe is saying, or he'll answer a question or whatever. So he is listening, but he's starting to kind of doze off.
Yeah, you get me, Talash, What I appreciate about you is that you listen, And it feels like no one ever listens to me. Talash?
Yes, I hear you, Master Thebe.
Oh, I thought you fell asleep.
Oh, wrong accent there. Sorry.
Oh, it's alright. That's what the Inifis does to you. Alright, you look like you're gonna pass out, and I respect it. So, have a good rest, my man.
Yes, the heat of this place does wear on one. Ooh, as he yawns really loud. And almost immediately after the yawn starts snoring.
Alright, Tella. I'll see you later.
Mid-snore, he just kind of... He kind of waves at you, like... Not waves you away, but just kind of waves at you, like acknowledgement that you said you'd see him later.
I assume Simon was joining us for that.
I don't know.
Following, just meandering.
And Thebe walks away.
Alright, Deju would have been talking to Luca, actually, since he's still by the fire. So, you told us, not in great detail, but you did tell us how you came to be here. How is it you plan on getting home?
Honestly, we don't really know. We're banking on hopefully seeing Mala again, as she was the one who led us here in the first place. But we can't say for certain. We're just doing what we can.
Follow-up question. Why would you agree to come here and help a world which you have no stake in?
I'm not sure, but it was compelling. It was like a calling. I'm not fully certain of how it came to be, but I remember how it felt, and it was urging me to move, and so I did.
Wanderlust.
You could say that.
The thrill of
Searching for
adventure.
meaning, purpose. It is what it is.
If anybody else is kind of gathered around, she'll say, well, I must admit I feel better now that I've met and spoken with you. All of you. But
Likewise.
come morning, we must depart. We must part ways. We need to get back to where the fight is. Hell is trying to break through, and there's not much in the way to stop it.
What is your next step?
She kind of looks over towards towards Sadira. Well, we have a place. I'm not sure if it's my place to say this. Just know that there is a hole being ripped between planes, and us and some of the other Celestials that have agreed to help are the only things standing between this world and the wrath of hell. And the fight is not going well, I'm afraid. And if Diablo has his way and is able to release his brethren, we are all going to die. Some secrets I am just not able to share with you.
Sounds good.
That's understandable. You must keep our privacy.
I will, however, tell you, Lut Gholein may not be a very welcoming place for you.
That's also understandable. Not a lot of places have been welcoming for us.
Well, you have Warriv, and you have Deckard. They may be able to get you in the gates, but Lut Gholein has been ransacked as of late. The city still stands, but the prince seems to have hired mercenaries to guard the walls. And it seems the city has fallen under martial law.
Interesting.
I think the prince has lost control of the mercenaries. But it is not our affair to deal with at this time, so we stay away. We'll see to this if we survive.
You will survive. You are a capable group.
I hope so. Rest. We have a long journey, and you have still another full day and then some through this heat. We'll keep you safe for the night.
And in that we are thankful.
Anyone else?
Would Thebe be by himself at this time?
I don't know. Thief?
Yeah, why not?
Sentinel will cautiously, kind of like, just shuffling through the sand a little bit, approach you, and looking down at you in the sand. Are you currently smoking? Or are you trying to sleep?
Oh, he's definitely smoking still.
Sentinel looking down at you, kind of like motions to you. I'd like to, if you could follow me.
This is the moment.
uh, you seem like you were trying to murder me.
No, he kind of has like this stoic look about him, like he's just kind of there. Like he's not. He doesn't seem to be in an armament stance. His hammer is sheathed. He's asking you to follow him.
Alright, Phoebe gets up and follows you. Alright.
Sentinel kind of like trails with you out for a little bit. He mentions how he just wishes to have your company for a moment and needs your assistance with something. And he kind of just wanders off with you a little bit into the dunes a bit. Away from everyone, where no one can see you.
Yeah, you don't look like you're trying to murder me. And, well, actually, my character would be a little paranoid. High or low?
Always high.
Alright.
Ba-da-ba-da-dum.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. You're kind of going kind of far out. I'm gonna head back.
Before you go, Sentinel like reaches out an arm to you, and he kind of like holds your arm, not tight, just like he reaches to you, and it says, "I insist, please."
At least tell me the gist of what this is about before we go wandering in the desert.
He kind of like motions to like the edge of a dune that we're standing on, that kind of looking over a little bit of the desert, because he basically was scouting for a higher spot to sit away from the light. And he kind of points up. Would there be a moon in the sky at this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
He kind of motions to the sand and he says, "Have a seat."
Alright, Sentinel, but understand that I really am not in the mood for you to do anything right now, okay? Like, you're kind of a bully to me earlier, and I'm gonna go out there with you, but it's out of my grace. As Thebe continues to follow you, and sits down like you will.
He sits next to you for a moment, and he's just kind of like has this look on his face, like where he's just staring at you. And he rummages through a pack. At this point, he would have had wrapped it up in some of the cloth from his own garment that he had torn free, and he kind of like holds it like what looks to be like a covered package in his hand, and he kind of looks to you and he says, "I feel as if I've been harder on you than the others. And I know that I haven't been exactly kind. But this place is not a place that I suppose in my mind kindness belonged. It's just..." He kind of like trails off for a minute for looking out across the dunes. "It reminds me too much, or rather you remind me too much of someone I used to know. And perhaps maybe that familiarity makes me more assertive towards you, because I wish you not to be hurt."
Somebody that I used to know. Sorry.
not what I was expecting. That sounded like an apology in a way.
He kind of like gestures, like almost not so much like gracefully, but just kind of like the way Sentinel is, very brash. He kind of gestures the package again, or like the little wrapped package against you, and he goes, I know that this isn't exactly going to make up for the way I treat you, and I can't promise I will always be kind, but perhaps something to illuminate your darkest moments. And he kind of like hands him the package.
The package.
Beeb looks over at the package, probably down, and nods his head. Thank you, Sentinel. This is the nicest thing you've ever done for me. I also have a gift for you.
An arrow to the face.
As the pulls out what remains of his cigar and gestures your direction. You know what to do.
Sentinel will just stare at it for a moment, cautiously.
No one's
Reaching
looking,
it.
Sentinel.
He reaches over for the cigar and he mimics what he's seen others do before him and inhales.
Yes.
Except he's not, again, him inhaling it, he's just like a balloon almost, like he's just sucking it in until like the wick pulls further and further back in one full gulp.
Like a vacuum.
He's vacuuming the cigar like back.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Lazarus, did you see my message in Foundry?
Was he getting some telepathic secrets again?
No.
Perhaps. I can either confirm or deny this accusation.
That's a yes.
Yo, this bit be crazy.
Well, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Thebe will carefully unwrap this package. Also, how's Sentinel reacting? Is he good?
Do I roll? I do have things that affect me if I'm done that. So do I roll for this?
No, because you
I
don't
don't
need to
think you do.
breathe. So
Oh, that's true. It's just in going into an empty space inside of him.
you're actually probably just mimicking breathing. You're not actually sucking in
Yeah.
the air.
There's no. It's just going inside, and then you can see the smoke kind of creaking out ever so slightly in the wooden fibers. But given that it's got Inefist in it, maybe that screws with the wood. Who knows? I will say
Whoa.
that as you unravel the package, you will see a glass arrow that appears to have been worked on for quite a bit, as he did put a little time into it. Like intricate details of iron laced across the glass, almost like the hard and soft substances meeting as one.
Whoa! This is gnarly, Sentinel. Thanks, dude. What is this like a? What does it do? Is
In
it?
a way, it tells a story. And Sentinel kind of like leans a little bit forward, bringing up the fact that the person you remind me of is a friend of mine, or once was, Lut Gholein, a dwarven crafter that I used to know quite well. He specialized in glasswork, and he used to make marvelous, brilliant, beautiful pieces. He once made me a piece that has been long lost to me at this time, but in a similar way, it was his gift to me, and as this arrow is my gift to you. May it shine in the darkest times, as he kind of quietly mimics and casts the light spell inside the tip of the arrow. The light bending and reflecting inside and creating kind of like a soft illusion of prismatic light.
Whoa, that's super cool. Man, my gift was lame compared to yours. This is awesome.
I thank you.
It seems like there's more to you than just that hard armor you're always wearing. And I don't mean the stuff you have on now. That meant, like, what is the word for when it's not literal? It's the other one.
Metaphorical.
Yeah, Sentinel. Metaphorical, correct. Yeah. Metaphorical. Yeah. It's like you're blooming, and as that happens, Thebe will begin to druidcraft a flower, but then realize that Sentinel might not like it from what he incited from Sentinel earlier, and then look to him sort of for permission. As he was about to cast druidcraft to pull out some of the natural living wood on you.
He doesn't resist.
Okay, so from your, we'll say, upper left shoulder, ever so slightly, almost like the little, what do they call it? Is it like a flower lapel? From, as if you had like a front pocket. Right in that place, there's a little flower that blooms right there.
And you kind of just, you can see Sentinel kind of having a mixed reaction here as he looks at it.
I can get rid of it.
No. No, it is nice. I like it.
You're blooming. Get it?
I get it, Steve.
Alright. Does this mean we're friends now?
I perhaps imagine so.
Oh man! That's awesome! I'm gonna go tell Rowan.
I can just imagine Thebes like, now he's skipping everywhere he goes.
You want to hold hands back to the camp?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You'll push him, Steve.
Alright. We're not there yet. That's fine. We will be, but that's fine.
So yeah, Sentinel just kind of like dismisses the light spell, allowing the prismatic energy to kind of dissipate a little bit, but the arrow still has that, shimmer in the moonlight.
Ooh. I like it. It's like a flashlight, but it's an arrow.
You can write a song about that.
If I was a bard. Okay. We'll head back. Yeah, go ahead.
Sentinel kind of like, motions you back, but he kind of like stays a little bit later and just stare at the moon before moving with you.
Before the night ends, Lazarus is going to, for the last time before they get to Lut Gholein, try to focus in on his horn.
Okay.
Because he knows he can feel something.
I would like to blow on his dice.
All right. Give me intelligence check and a D100.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
Right.
Come on, everybody, give him praise. Come on, nat 20, nat 20. You guys didn't give him praise.
I believe in
12.
you.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right, we're getting somewhere.
Improvement.
As you sit, you pull the horn out and you set it in your lap, and you focus in on it. Everything kind of goes blurry as you know how when you stare at something for a long time, everything you literally focus in, like tunnel vision.
Pinhole.
you begin to see tiny runes, which were already there. They were already little runes kind of etched into this horn. But now you see, as you're sitting there and you're focusing in and you're trying to connect with that, whatever that power, that essence is here, you see the runes kind of light up, kind of flash briefly, and they start to kind of traverse across the outer shell of this horn. You begin to notice, with your knowledge of the arcane, you begin to notice that as they come together, you begin to see patterns as they seem to be moving around in almost like a spiral pattern. But you'll see every once in a while, as they are in a spiral pattern around the horn, when they line up, you see bits and pieces of arcane spells there. Some of it you can't quite understand. Some of them you see and recognize as spells you have used before. You see the burning hands, and you see the written aspect of the spell there, and then it as the patterns and the runes kind of shift, you watch it and you see another one come up, and you see the arcane version, the written version of Magic Missile. You see others there too. You can almost make out but you can't quite get the meaning of it just yet. But it's there. It's just right there. But you're not quite sure. It's like you don't have time to study it before it's gone and forms other just random patterns. Something, while there's not an intelligence there's not something you can connect to and speak like you've heard Sentinel doing with his shield sometimes. There is something there, and you have now made that connection. It wants to teach you something, but with a 12 intelligence check, you're not quite sure what it is just yet. Sorry, man. Almost though, but you got the percentage, so now you're starting to see some shit, so
Yeah, that's a start.
I wanted Laz to go fucking tease and just fucking scream. You're some cool pet. No.
You get the feeling that what it's trying to teach you is just a little beyond your reach. You're not quite strong enough to do some of it yet.
Okay.
Damn, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, you needed a 14.
Oh.
Yep.
You should have said you needed a 13 and watched him fucking cry.
No. I had the DC set at a 14. And now that you've gotten over a 70%, the percentage needed will go down a little bit. Once you hit the DC on the intelligence check, it'll lower, so it'll be easier for you next time, until it becomes something that you can just do without having to roll. Once you break through, that's it. That's all you have to do. At that point, then it's just a matter of you just wanting to have a conversation. You wanting to interact with it.
Okay.
Much like him and Sentinel and Kovath now that he's actually gotten those high rolls and broken through, he can speak with him anytime he wants. He may not always get the answer he wants, or he may not always have a full-on conversation with him, but he can talk to him whenever he needs to, and try at least. So.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it for everyone. Anyone else have anything? I know Rowan's probably got a lot to say, but she's not here.
Yeah.
Rowan seems to be out of it tonight.
All right,
She's
fine,
right there.
fine,
She's just kind of staring into the campfire.
fine. She will, before the night's out, approach Simon.
Oh god.
Don't get yourself in trouble, Andres. Not Thebe, but Andres.
She walks over to Simon. Oi! Can I talk to you?
What the fuck?
Round of applause, Steve. Round of applause.
Oh, fuck. That's awesome.
She hasn't had a sip of water in a while.
Yeah. She needs to hydrate.
How long she been smoking? Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna
If you
mute
were to-
myself. Go ahead.
If you were to look at her, her eyes are a little glazed. I just really need to talk to someone. It's been a long day.
All right. What's on your mind?
He starts. You can see now that tears are streaming down her face.
Tears are streaming down my face, dude. What the fuck?
Bro,
I just need a hug.
She just sounds like a goblin.
And she doesn't ask permission. She just goes, throws her arms around you.
Oh my god.
All right. I just sit there and let her hug it out.
Do you do the Keanu Reeves hug where you're just like this? It's not touching, but
Killed him.
What'd you say?
He killed him.
Who'd they kill?
Call him. Sorry. Okay. This was a mistake.
You gotta live with it.
You're gonna
You
hurt
gotta
your
live with
throat, man.
Yeah, no.
Look at it. Call him. Call him.
I'm not doing that anymore. It's too much.
That's alright. Switch it up again. Switch it up again. Do some pirate rowing.
It's just they killed him. My family. Oh no, is Rowan in the chat? Why am I getting messages from Rowan right now?
Uh-oh.
Who ratted me out?
What? What happened?
well, she has Wi-Fi. She can still read the message. She can still.
Oh, she can read, but she can't talk. She can't hear. She's just reading what was said earlier.
Oh no. Alright. I'm on best behavior. Best behavior. I killed my family. I don't remember Rowan's NPC, so Rowan's not gonna say the name.
Arundel.
But- What is it, Arundel?
I think so. Let me get my notes, damn it. Hold on.
It's.
Yeah. We'll refer to it as my family for now. And I just as a point here, we've been in this Diablo world for however many weeks, right? So about a month, and it's just been really shitty. A lot of fighting, even amongst like within our own group. Nothing's really been that pleasant. Even just being in this environment, there's like this general shitty atmosphere, right?
I think it was Aldera.
Aldera.
Aldera, yeah.
Aldera.
Yeah.
So just amongst all of this shittiness, this is the first hug either of you two have had now in a month, in a very shitty, traumatic, horrible month.
Actually, Simon, this is the first human contact you've had in a couple of years that wasn't some form of combat involved. You know what I mean?
I really don't want to cast grease.
No, don't do that.
We're not going there.
Yeah, let's not get too crazy. Rowan's not here
Yeah, we're not.
to do it herself. So
I no trust. No trust.
No trust.
well, I don't know what notes you guys pass between each other either. So, I mean, whatever she wants you to do or whatever, or however you think you need to get her to that point, it's up to you.
She just lingers in the hug for a while. Every now and then, breaking into sob and then squeezing a little tighter for a moment. And after about, well, actually, do you do anything?
I sniffle a little bit.
And after about, we'll say, 5 minutes of that, which is a very long time, 5-minute hug, she kind of backs away, remembering herself. Thank you for that, Simon.
No problem.
I really needed that.
I'm gonna have to get Rowan a fucking teddy bear.
Yeah, right.
I thought that was me.
Rowan moves to stand up and walk away, and then stops and turns back towards you. Don't tell anyone we did that. I don't want to encourage the thief.
Secret safe with me.
She smiles and walks away.
A secret in Greece is a secret in peace.
And as she walks away, she goes to try and practice casting Goodberry.
Oh my fucking god.
So this time, what Rowan does is put her hand on the ground and start praying to Saloon to try and make, out of the middle of this sand, a Goodberry sprout up. No shot.
She tries what?
She just tries at a random spot in this desert to pray to Saloon and make a plant sprout and hopefully pop up a Goodberry. In her mind, she knows she can't, but nothing else has worked.
Right.
So,
You know what? Give me a. It's gonna be a high DC, but give me a religion check.
as Rowan, yeah, let's see what she got. Alright, character sheet here. Religion. Plus 25. Perfect. Okay, I nailed it. So, what does my good berry look like?
Yeah, she says her prayers and she talks to Stelline for a moment, and she really tries to force this Goodberry to grow up out of the sand and ends up feeling a slight, feeling a slight pop in her fucking head. As she fucking grabs it like it has an instant headache for a moment.
Good berry tumor.
Oh, you know.
Very humor.
Best kind, I guess. All right. That for tonight anyway. That'll be all for Rowan, I think, as she gets frustrated and moves to go to sleep.
Okay. What is the word for?
It's the word in
Never
between
mind.
3 and 5.
Shut the fuck up.
That makes me really happy that bugged Laz.
All right. Okay, so as the moon slowly treks across the sky, and one by one people begin to nod off or meditate if that's what they do. Even the druid, even Daiju and Sidira, Talash, Halgant, even they all drift off to sleep. Thebe, is you and Rowan really only need about 4 hours. You guys tend to stay up a little later, kind of looking across the group. They seem to fully trust in these wolves, which you can make out kind of just circling the perimeter of where you guys have set camp. Barely on the edge of your vision. But easily noticeable as they have a faint glow to them. Everybody kind of drifts off, and yeah, sorry. As you guys awaken the next morning, sorry, if everybody needs to, you can hit long rest. If anybody has any exhaustion or anything like that, should clear it up now. I don't know if anybody had any lingering effects. I didn't look. But in any case, you can hit the long rest button just to make sure everything's cleared off of you. And as you guys begin to slowly awaken, again, Thebe and Rowan, probably the first ones. Sentinel, you obviously stayed up all night. You noticed during the night, though, that these other party members kind of gathered and took off just before dawn. And once you get up and kind of move around and start to look, you can see the faint glow of the wolves off in the distance. So if something were to happen, they were still close enough. But once people start moving and waking up here in the camp, they kind of fade off into the distance as the sun begins to crest over some of the dunes there. You're in a pretty flat land other than the dunes, so the sun comes up pretty quick and pretty early, and the heat begins to settle in rather quickly. So for those that were sleeping, you don't need a wake-up call, as the heat wakes you up. as it is extremely uncomfortable very quickly, very early in the morning. And yeah, that's is Rowan. She said she took her armor off, so is she gonna travel without the armor, or is she gonna put it on? Same with you, Licka. What are you doing?
I'm gonna be traveling with our.
Armor on? Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Rowan
so.
will stay. What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Thebe.
I was just gonna say her armor's not on either,
Okay.
or
Uh,
her armor's not on rather.
Um. It will make for a much more comfortable day of travel. Just understand that if something happens, you are without armor. As you still have a day and a half across the desert, which, fortunately for you guys, with your roles that y'all had already, nothing happens. So that first day goes by, or that final day goes by, and for those of you with over 16, let's see, yeah, 16 or over 16, not 16 or higher, but over a 16. Passive perception. You can see what looks like the lights of a city very far off in the distance that next night as the sun begins to go down. You can see, like, you know how when it's pitch black outside and you're a ways away from the city, but you can kind of see the light off in the horizon from the city, but you can't quite make out the buildings or anything. Yeah, it's a good ways off, but you can see where your destination lies. Yeah, the next morning you wake up and you begin to head towards the city. As you do so,
Ooh, the music cut off.
Whoa! Did you hear that?
Ooh.
That's the sound of more desert.
Ooh. I like that though.
Dum dum.
This desert music be bopping.
I summoned Sand Giant.
okay, where the hell? Huh.
We need sand benders to just come out and be like, whoa.
Alright. Let's see if this is... There we go. Oof. Okay, we're gonna see how this goes.
Ooh.
Do, 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 do.
Do I not have...
Shai Hulud enters the field.
Who does what now?
A sandworm. A giant fucking sandworm.
Oh.
Sentinel would like to jump into the sandworm.
Oh no.
Nice.
I don't have... Huh. Did I delete it? What the fuck? I don't have a party token anymore. What the hell happened to it? I'll be damned. I'm gonna have to make another party token. Sorry, guys.
I usually just make like an icon of a D20 and be like,
Yeah, well, I
Yeah,
have one. Remember, I have it on the world map. I don't know what happened to it though. But let me just copy that one.
yeah, be the fastest way to do it. Whoa, someone teleported. Wowzers.
Misty Shart ain't working.
You can just do the sound effect yourself.
Wait, I'm gonna BRB
That's
real
good.
quick. I'm gonna take a quick leak.
Yep.
Give me a sec.
You know what? I'll pause it right there while he's doing that. All right. About an hour or so before noon, so mid-morning, you guys come over a couple of dunes and begin to see the city spread out before you. It is massive.
It is.
There are buildings around the outskirts of the city that are in disrepair and falling. You see groups of men going from structure to structure. There's a wall that is probably 20 feet high or so that stretches what looks like a cliff face across the city like this, and over this way. And there are two large wrought iron gates here in the middle, which would be, you know, these two doors here. This wall looks fairly new, it looks to be recently constructed, and you see figures moving along the top of the wall. The buildings that you see around the outskirts are that are outside of this wall. They are again in disrepair. They're falling. You hear shouts from men. You can't make out what they're saying, but you'll see a group of men move from another structure, from one structure to another, and you see on the side, let's see, over here, along the wall here, wait, let's do this. Along the wall here, I'm gonna have to draw this damn wall, aren't I? Let's do this. Oh shit. Stop. Okay, it won't do it. Never mind. It won't stop. I can't make it stop. Okay. Hold on. I can't make it stop. There we go. Okay, why won't this go away? There we go. Okay. Sorry. So I guess I'm not gonna be able to do it like that. I'm gonna have to do this after. So anyways, there's a wall along here. On the southwest of this wall, there are buildings which are not on the map, because you're not going to be really there. But there are men moving amongst those structures, and then along the wall you see a group. You see figures moving all along the wall, but there's a group that are stationary that are kind of watching out over the men moving from structure to structure, almost as if a lookout. You see corpses scattered amongst the desert and the dunes. You see some of the beetles that you fought. You see some of the flying creatures that you saw before. The bloodhawks that Andariel, that y'all know Andariel was using to kind of watch as scouts. You see a lot of bodies that... What was that? Oh, a lot of bodies that you've never come across before. I'm sorry, a lot of creatures that you've never come across before. They almost look like for those of you familiar with them from your world, they almost look like tabaxi. But they have tails, and they are very much more bestial looking. You also see some humans. They are dressed in usually some variation of desert garb, with the light linen kind of wrapped around their whole bodies to help from the sun from beating down on their skin. But every one of them somewhere have some type of red sash, either across the chest, around the neck, around one of their arms or their legs or their waist, and they all have some sort of pin somewhere on that sash that is that resembles a wolf's head. These are things that you see. I'm not going to go make you investigate all this shit. These are things that you see as you're walking up to the gates. Warav, you see him, he's looking around. This does not bode well, my friends. There's a lot of dead things around here. And you guys may not be exactly overlooked, if you catch my meaning.
Well, how do we seem like less of a threat?
He intentionally looks directly at Lika and Lazarus. I don't think you can.
Maybe he can't. As I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself.
Right. Oh my god, I got no disguise.
My body becomes engulfed in flames for just a brief moment, and once they're gone, I look like a about 3.5 foot tall halfling, brown hair, brown eyes, wearing a gas mask and fake wooden wings, with my tail wrapped around, disguised as a belt.
A halfling? Okay.
He's short.
Right. Yeah, he just basically looks like a kid from what these guys would see. Unfortunately, Lika, you really don't have nothing to disguise yourself with, but
Yeah, I don't got nothing like that.
Sentinel like slowly pulls out a serrated knife. His horns.
as you guys approach the walls, begin to approach, you're a few 100 feet away. And
Do they see us?
oh, they definitely see y'all coming over the dunes. There's nothing but desert, and then all of a sudden there's people standing, walking. Like, yeah, they've been seeing y'all for quite some time approaching.
I was gonna say, before we get closer, could we try and figure out what to do about Leica?
Yeah, I would say that's definitely a thing.
Y'all are
like
several
a
hundred feet
figure
away.
of
At this
one.
point, they can't make out any details.
Right, so while they can't make out details, maybe we could figure out what we can do if there's a solution. Let's put our heads together here.
So just a quick question: are we surrounded by those humans that were wearing robes?
No, you've seen bodies here and there in different
That's what
states
I'm
of
saying.
decay.
How many dead bodies are like within maybe 120 feet?
120 feet, maybe 3.
Before we start
Okay.
desecrating corpses, I do have a disguise kit on me.
Well,
We could
unfortunately,
simply-
Lika's got a full head of horns.
Yep.
I got this.
I don't know how you're gonna hide this.
You can make them look like props.
Can we pull like a Hellboy move on him?
Hellboy.
I already made the joke about cutting his horns off.
We could make them look like props. We could pretend that we're, a traveling band of entertainers.
I have.
Oh, we could go in.
You have any ideas, Leica?
While y'all are discussing this,
God.
Morav and Decker are gonna kind of take off from the group, and War's gonna say, "Well, y'all can figure something out, I'm sure, but or try to disguise yourselves. I'm gonna go have a chat with the guards here. I'll be
Warf,
back."
before you go, and Sentinel kind of like motions to him, as he hasn't spoken much to Warf before, and he kind of like motions both him and Deckard Cain. Do you have priests of your world, like people who worship?
We have holy men, yes.
Do they wear garbs that would perhaps cover their face in ceremonial?
Why would you ask me that? Hold on. Deckard, let's see.
I'm asking that because I'm about to cast Fabricate and transmute all of the dead robes into like a holy man's outfit to like shroud his horns.
Just
And so like if he wears a face shroud, then they can't see his face.
Oh, yeah. The devil and priest's clothing.
Oof.
Hell yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Irony in it.
That's a 12 for Deckard.
I don't think him being a traveling prop would make. They look like they're shooting anything that they don't like, so I don't want to risk it.
Deckard got a 12, and Warv got a 5 on his religion check, so... sure, that's, I'm sure some of them would do that. There's all kinds of religions around here.
I haven't...
You do what you will. I'm just gonna go have a chat with the guards here. I don't think I'll have any problem getting in. Maybe I can ease the transition, if you know what I mean.
I have an idea, but... and he kind of like looks to you. You must of course be willing to trust me here.
Am I going to be sold to slavery?
No.
Oh, well, that was my idea. But okay, what are we doing?
Well, Warv and Deckard take off, so...
Like, Sentinel's gonna place his hand literally right here and almost gently grip your neck as he forces feigned death upon you.
Oh shit, well, I'm out.
Well, I mean, there's a saving throw for that.
He has to be a willing creature. There's not a save option.
Oh.
He has to willingly allow this to happen.
Okay.
I willingly allow my feigned death.
Alright. We now have our bounty. We hunted a demon that was terrorizing these lands. Let us go cash in our bounty.
We could have just painted him!
With what paint?
Sentinel!
In my kit!
Sentinel, we gotta think past today, you know? I think that'll get us in the gate. But what happens tomorrow?
When
This is
he's
true.
fucking walking!
But we would have more. We'd have more opportunity to stash him somewhere safe in Lut Gholein.
What if they take his corpse for processing at the gate?
What do they do? Chop him up into chili?
Yes. Let's play hide the demon
Well,
in the fucking city.
You may be right. Does anyone else have any good ideas? Also, do we need to wake up Leica before we have this conversation? Or
Alright, hey. While you guys figure that out, we're gonna call the session right there. I'm not gonna because this can go a while. Y'all trying to argue or persuade y'all's way through the gate with Warv's help, of course. So Warv is very well known. So keep that in mind.
We never get into Lut Gholein watch. We just never can get it.
We'll have an entire session of us arguing how to get Leica past the gate.
This is definitely something y'all can discuss in chat during the week, throughout the next week. You know, if y'all want to lie your way through, persuade your way through, maybe find another way into the city, could be possible, or you could just tell the truth and trust in that Warv's familiarity with everyone here gets y'all in. But that's you have several different roads to take here to choose from, so we'll figure that out next session. Here on the Abracadagger. So we're gonna call it a night. God, it was only
Is there-
that wasn't
is the
even
session-
3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
thanks
we
for
do-
watching. Anyways, it was kind of a short session. Of course, we did have a huge discussion at the beginning, and then, yeah. So, all right, everyone. We'll see y'all next week.